Hey traders, welcome to the full market analysis for the 18th of November. Don't forget we've got the FOMC meeting tomorrow at 7 p.m. GMT. So markets, in particular the dollar, will probably be pretty quiet tomorrow, although, gold is acting pretty good actually. So let's go over gold first of all before we go into the Forex market and see what's going on. But I want to go into a little bit of detail on the gold on steroid software, just so you get a better understanding, and also give you better entry points, I guess, is the idea. We banked 500 pips today. It's the biggest gain we've had for a long time. And I want to show you how and why that works so that you can get better and make better decisions. So I've got the 15-minute chart here on the left. And remember, above the 50 MA is a buy, it's a buy, and below it it's a sell, below it it's a sell. So that's straightforward, isn't it? But I want to focus on this oscillator here in particular, which actually points the direction the price is going to go, where the price is going to go, and where the price is going to go. So that's the first points that I want to make before we go into a little bit more detail. Now, of course, we also want to know where the demand is. The demand is already set on the software, so you know exactly where it is before the price moves, and we have a buy power of 70. Already established before the market comes down into this area with positive divergence. So that gives you a clue that London Open is going to take the price higher. Now, let me just clarify a couple of things here. I sent a signal to buy in the VIP signals room. And I gave the VIP members the trading outlook as well. So it gave you an idea of that. So we went for 2 to 1. There we go. That was the first trade we had this morning. So rather than, I missed this one, I'm out usually in the morning, so I'm looking for breaker structure. So this is breaker structure here. The price comes up and breaks this previous high and then breaks that at 40.40 if I remember rightly. Sorry, 40.25. And we go for 2 for 1, gives us 235 pips from that move. So that was nice. Congratulations if you had that. Now, what is interesting here, have a look at the oscillator here on the 15-minute chart as the price comes down and becomes oversold. This is really important, and this is another trading opportunity which you can use as it comes into demand. Now, the demand here might not be set. It might be set afterwards. So that's the thing to bear in mind. But what is set, you can just about see that, is the FVG, fair value gap, from the previous move. So there is an order block there, or an FEG there, which is going to generate a potential buy combined with the oscillator down here. So this indicates that the price is going to move higher before the price moves higher. So we had another buy here, and I want to show you this one in a little bit of detail in the 5-minute chart so you can get a better understanding. And all we're looking for is the price to move above the 50 MA. Okay, so 40.40 or something like that, whatever it was. 40.50, doesn't matter. And we had a target of 40.70 into this area here. This is already preset. We know this area is going to be supply, and it's going to be a problem for the price to break through it, unless other things are going on, of course. So let's go into the details of this in terms of the 5-minute chart. So let's look at the first trade first of all. So this is the 5-minute chart, and as I scroll through you can see what's happening here. And the price, this is the breaker structure here, 40.25, and so we had a breaker structure at 40.25 with a 2 to 1, which hit our target very nicely. Okay, now this, have a look at the oscillator on the left. Okay, so and the price is below the 50 on the left. So this indicates that there's likely to be a pullback in the market. I mean, you could have held that, couldn't you, and gone for the there at 448 pips quite easily and had no further trades. Okay, but then what you're looking for here is look at the oscillator on the left and look at the oscillator on the right. Set the same, but they're both oversold. And this is really important because this is like a catapult, winding up, winding up, winding up. And so it's likely to be a much bigger move than the one previously. So we can now set our target to the same at 40.70, just on that yellow zone, supply zone there. And we can have a trade. So once the price, let me zoom in. Once the price moves above the moving averages here, and you can see the direction for the moving averages is here. There you have your entry point, and then you have your 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, whatever it is, to the target. So that's really important. So look out for that in the future. Whenever you see the oscillator all lining up and both oversold, or both overbought, of course, for a sell, then of course you can enter. But please ensure that you are clear about the direction in terms of the trend. So the trend is cleared by the blue above red in this instance, that the price is likely to continue. Hopefully that's helpful. Price is drifting now. You don't want to be buying when the price is entering into a supply zone. You want to be buying low and selling high, buying low and selling high. Okay, let's have a look around, shall we? I don't think there's much going on. Okay, the New Zealand Swiss, I'll put this into the VIP signals room, seems to be doing very nicely indeed. So let's cover this. This is not a reversal. Well, it is, but it's not. What we've got here going on, buy power 70, we don't have convergence, but we do have a continuation pattern now. So the continuation patterns are very, very good. You don't need to have a reversal, although that would be the perfect scenario. You can simply have a continuation pattern where the green buyers are stepping in above the 50 from a demand area, and then the price continues up, hopefully. I've got a target here, 46.09. You can make it 46 quite easily. I think the target was 45.95, if I remember rightly, so that's down there a little bit. Gives us 2-to-1. So I don't know what's going on, so let me flick through. I haven't seen this for a while. So the dollar's gaining some strength after positive divergence here on the 4-hour chart, but I'm still pretty convinced that the dollar's going to weaken, but we're not seeing it yet. So the euro dollar is going to go against us, and it is. Now, what I particularly like about this, if you have a look at this here, the oscillator is way oversold. Doesn't mean it's going to go, you're certainly not going to be buying it in this scenario. It doesn't mean because it's not above the 50. So in other words, what you can do, as the price moves below the 50, you can use this as your trailing stop, and then you wait for another position to arrive or set up. That's totally up to you. That's subjective. However, I like this, so I've held on. I'm going to give this a chance, and so we can actually wait for the price to re-enter that position where it comes back up above the 50 and then heads for our target up here somewhere. So I tend to cling on to charts a little bit longer because I'm not looking at them all day, but it's totally up to you whether you want to go with that or not. Now the New Zealand dollar, I posted this yesterday. Everything was green and looking okay, so that was all right. And also, let me show you the 1 hour, which was yesterday, which was posting a positive scenario here on the 1 hour. So one thing we can do, of course, is before the FOMC expect the dollar to remain sideways. That's normal. So money management is really important in these scenarios here. But what I like about this, couple of things I like about this. First of all, you can probably see it already. The oscillator is way overbought and above the 50. So that indicates that further strength is highly, highly likely in the next coming days, depending on the FOMC, of course. But technically, this is about as good as it gets under normal circumstances. So look out for that. It's continuation patterns are fantastic. Continuation is another one there. If you got into that as an example here, everything red, oscillating pointing down below the 50, and the price banks probably 200 pips or whatever it is. So what else we've got here? Oh yeah, okay, so we've got the situation with the US yen. Yen futures are weak and the US dollar is stronger. So it's a good combination, isn't it? So we can go into the 1 hour chart for the analysis and see what's going on here. Flick down and you'll see a few things going on. So on the advanced pro charts, what you've got here is the opportunity to get into positions quite early on the 1 hour chart. One thing you should be looking for is for the buy signal and then everything to be green. If you can get in on these positions while it's green, then that's your trading opportunity there, trading opportunity there, and trading opportunity there, and then the price should start to go your way. We've got a big nice target 158, just above 158, so that looks fantastic. Let's see how that goes. US Canadians pretty mixed. US Swiss, well, this is getting stronger, of course, because the US dollar DXY is going stronger. That's the combination. And of course, we banked our profits last week, didn't we? Just flicking through the yens, pretty flat, I think. Going stronger, of course. Weaker yen futures. Nice move on the Aussie yen a week or two ago. New Zealand yen, yeah, looking nice. So one thing you can do is once you get to see price, doesn't have to come into a strong reversal point. In other words, we don't have to see convergence, divergence. We can just see price continue a pattern. In other words, above the 50, and all the buys are in, and the oscillator is pointing that way as well. And what we can do then, once we're in that position, we can actually move our stop with the 50 moving average. So we will actually be locking some profits into this entry point here. So that there will be zero risk in this market. And it's probably going to hit target of 170 pips in the next hour or so, I should think. Similar situation for the pound yen, as you can see. Very nice move off of buy power 92. Not convergence, not really divergence, but again, using the tools to actually get into a position if you wanted to, with all the buyers in, is a fantastic way to manage the position. See what's going on. Aussie Swiss is going against us slightly, but again, it's subjective. Yeah, I mean, I'm bored with this one, to be honest. So I'll take the money off the table there. The price has now moved above the 50 moving average and looks like it's going to complete that. Candle's going to complete there. So there's better trades available. New Zealand Swiss, again, not a reversal in the real sense because we don't have convergence, if people understand that. If you're not sure, then let me know. But what we've got here is a continuation pattern above the 50. It's broken this trend line, and we have change of character here, don't we? So it's moved above the previous high. So that indicates continuation is highly likely with all the buyers in. We can have a look at the 1 hour chart to see how that looks. and you know what it looks like. So everything green, early stages of that move, and so that should do very nicely indeed. Just looking at gold from a longer term perspective, we can see that the price cycle is very, very low on the 4-hour chart. So this looks like it's just a simple correction into this area before it continues south again in the next few days, depending on the dollar, to be honest with you, and depending on the FOMC. Euro Aussie is fumbling about a bit, isn't it? So I'm happy to hold this for now and don't see any reason why it shouldn't. There's negative divergence in the market, but again, I'll wait. I'll probably close it by tomorrow if it's not doing anything at all. Euro Canadian, I have changed. I have closed now. I made a small profit. I saw this move below here. So if you're on the signals room, then just close it at will. What I do like about this, however, is the price cycle here, with some hidden divergence as well. So this is moving down, back down to here, and then there's likely to be a big bounce. So we'll be re-entering this back up to 164.27 as another position. Just the way the markets go sometimes. New Zealand Canadian, I posted this into the VIP room. Looks okay, despite it's just sitting there. Price cycle again is very good, highly likely to bounce for buy power of 70. You've got to be patient in these markets because of the fact that people are waiting for decisions and markets, etc. Euro New Zealand is looking okay. I've got a sell stop here at 203.94 in the VIP signals room, and so therefore we do expect this to break down into the next few days for a nice move. Now Bitcoin's very interesting. We've got divergence, buy power 62, which is strong, but no convergence. That's okay. So what we can do now is wait for the price to change character, basically. So we can do that, and any change of character, then the price is going to go up back up to 115,712. But not happening yet. Wait for everything to go green on your software, and then you are good to go. Just a quick look at gold before we go. Yeah, not much going on. So have a wonderful evening, and we look forward to the FOMC meeting tomorrow, where we could see things liven up quite a bit.